Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, 4:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Take a look, trend gauge here. Market leader still under grow mode. Short term above the 21 EMA, although mid caps still below 2024 highs and close back below the 21 EMA. So that area of the market continues to struggle. Medium term above the 50-day moving average and long term above the 200-day moving average. What happened today? Bit of a pullback day across the board in the indexes and the leaders, and it pretty much started after um, the information news news source called into question the financial challenges of Oracle renting chips from Nvidia, and it said Oracle lost nearly 100 million from rentals of Blackwell chips in most recent quarter, and that kind of kicked off some of the selling in the mid-morning in tech and the indexes. So something to be cognizant of. Fund numbers 21 over 21 list pretty weak today, down 2.26%, 3 green, 1 neutral, 17 red. Turbo 12 weak as well, down 1.41%, 4 green, 8 red. Big 8 down about 0.65%, RG8 down 1.16%. And you can see mid caps and Russ 2000, but both down over about 1%. So there was a weakness in small and mid caps as well. 60/40 stock and bond down 0.86%. And then flagship portfolio GROTECTION down 0.84%. And then TurboTection down 1.4%. Let's take a look at the inter-asset correlation, and we'll start with the S&P 500. And you can see major indexes pretty much just closed up the 8 EMA. So again, right? 7 days up, a pullback's normal, and it's whether or not this accelerates in the coming days and deciphering what is normal and what is a red flag. For now, this action is totally normal. I mean, can't go up every single day. Was up 7 days in a row. Not didn't even close below the 8 EMA. Volume was slightly above average, but again, for now, this looks totally normal. Even a pullback into the 21 EMA wouldn't be out of the ordinary either, but just monitor it day by day and see if any red flags really show up. RSP again just really can't break out, fall through this 190. Again, on the other hand, was 7 days up in a row, but I mean, look at this relative strength line. It's just continues to be in a downtrend here below the 21 EMA. And just no follow through whatsoever there. Qs again pulling back to the 8 EMA as well. And again, normal for now. I don't really see any red flags. So watch the 8 EMA, watch 600, watch the 21 EMA as well. Mag 7 consolidating here looks quite constructive. Dow Jones Industrial Average, a little bit of relative strength today, only down 20 basis points. Close right at the 8 EMA. Levels of support 4,600, 21 EMA. Mid caps, relative weakness as well. And again, still well below these 2024 highs of 34.14 and kind of just struggling at this, 3,300, which is this left side high from January of this year. And the relative strength line kind of tells you again, just been in a downtrend. Major relative weakness versus the S&P 500. That is what this represents. But the chart looks fine. It's still building higher lows. So watch, see if this 50-day holds. Could be an opportunity on a pullback, and then potentially setting the stage to try to break out through that 3,300 spot. Russ 2000. Can't really follow through about 24.66 either. Close right at the 8 EMA. Same kind of levels apply, right? 21 EMA and this 2400 level. But again, my expectation is this sees some follow through eventually. But a scenario we could be seeing is maybe this handles out below below these 2021 highs, at 24.58, close right at it. So looking to see some real follow through above. ARC normal pullback to the 8 EMA, pretty extended. FFTY again barely down, so that kind of shows the state of the leaders today. VIX something to watch. VIX climbing today, up almost 5%. So who knows? Potentially people are adding hedges. I don't know, but something to watch. If VIX starts to blast through 18, that could be a red flag. The dollar, this is another thing to monitor, right? This is potentially trying to break out from this downtrend line, has a power three setup back above all key moving averages as well. Gold nonstop. Gold futures hit 4,000 today, and this is just a frozen row. Definitely not buyable here. The buy was many weeks ago, but just gold's really strong. GDX as well, lockout rally. Silver, lockout rally as well. And then Bitcoin, weak today again. Had 6 days up, made new highs, and then coming back in. So is this going to be a double top, or is this just handling out in this cut base? I'm leaning towards handling out in this cup and handle base, but if this starts to really leak off, then it could be a potential double top. Bonds starting to flag out here off the 21, same with TLT, and then rates potentially starting to break lower as well. All right, that's the inter-asset correlation. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Percent of stocks with the 5-day moving average coming down to 41 now. I mentioned the news in Oracle. We'll cover those charts. For now, keys held, S&P above the 8, same with the Q, same with the Russ 2000. Going into tomorrow, going to be watching the same stuff. After 7 days up, down one today, 8 days above the 8 EMA, 25 days above the 21 EMA. Sectors wise, natural gas was strong today, gold, financials, and healthcare. And then weakness wise, Bitcoin, builders, some of these rate sensitive sectors have been getting slammed as well. Semiconductors pulling back pretty extended, along with cybersecurity. GROTECTION today bought Palantir, sold Credo in an offensive trim in IONQ, 1.52 beta, 6.02% balance at risk. TurboTection added to Circle, 2.53 beta, minus 5.69% balance at risk. Bottom line, Oracle headline triggers some weakness in tech. We'll see how these stocks react into the end of the week. All right. 21. Some of the 21 over 21 lists got slammed today, and specifically one group that's been super strong. But we'll start with the leaders. LEU, another new high today. We own this in TurboTection and just absolutely monster stock. Not much to say. It's extended for a new buy here, looking to trim this into strength as it continues higher. Palantir, GROTECTION bought this today, and looking at this stock, these super multi-bar reversal candles have marked bottoms in the past, and you can see. So this had it last week, and then it shot right back up, and it is still constructive looking cup and handle base. Palantir showed some nice RS today, so potentially looking to break out. Robinhood, pretty normal pullback. Again, this one's also extended, but if you have cushion, just kind of riding the wave, trailing with moving averages at this point. EQT, it's got a really nice cup. So, perhaps it shoots back up to this 61 spot and then maybe handles out. But again, definitely a theme to monitor in the coming months, especially if, there's rotation out of tech. It's probably the best nat gas name. NVIDIA, pretty much 185 is the key level, good above that line, bad below. And if, this was a 10-week base breakout, pretty weak follow through for now, but as long as 185 holds, this looks fine. But I'm kind of using this as a gauge for the market. If Nvidia fails this breakout, loses the 21, I'd expect some more pain in some of the AI semiconductors. Nvidia basically is the face of AI still, although it is a huge market cap company. But again, if this fails, it's been pretty weak fall through for now. So if this fails, that could be a red flag for the market. MP, just can't follow through, but it's got a nice cup and handle base. Just kind of this is what you get in bases. People get frustrated buying strength, and then weakness typically tends to hold, and that's what it's doing. Still building higher lows, just consolidating under that 8250 spot. First Solar, orderly pullback to the 8 EMA, not really doing much, just kind of wedging up. Big base though. MDB sitting at the 21, likely needs to take out this downtrend line to get moving. Net kind of flagging here, but again, just lackluster relative strength past weeks. And that's what you see in base buildings. Just really, if you're buying in this range, you're not really getting any feedback there. DoorDash, tried to poke its head above those 278 highs, came back in. Again, relative strength line just kind of flat for the past couple weeks. GDX continuing higher. Micron. So, computer data storage, number one industry group. And what you sometimes find is that when a sector makes it to the number one industry group, that typically means it's very extended at that point. Kind of want to find that the groups and the sectors as they're making their way up into the top, 10 top five industry groups. So this one was pulling back today, but again, just not even broken the 8 EMA. Is it a spot to buy up here? Probably not. It could continue higher, but for now, this looks good. This is owned in TurboTection, and this is pretty normal pullback. Maybe it handles out a little bit before trying to move higher. ANET pulling back to the 21-day. Snowflake, again, outside negative reversal. Seeing this a lot. CoreWeave 21 has got to hold. This one, you know, owned in both portfolios, and it just seems like can't follow through. It's had huge three catalysts last month, and really no big price progression. So we'll see. 21 days the spot to hold. If that can't hold, then it could be a little bit of a red flag. ALAB again, just kind of volatile. No clear trend here. Relative strength line is below the 21 day, making a lower high. PHM sitting right breaking the 50-day. Home builder's been weak. Tesla. As long as 21 day holds, it's fine. They had some news today about the Model Y, I believe, in the middle of the day, and that kind of sparked the sell-off, closed down almost 5%. But pretty big move from this 360 breakout spot, and it's kind of just been wedging, so maybe this just needs to base a little bit. NBIS, something to watch, pretty big pullback day to the 8 EMA, down 5.8%. But again, as long as it continues to build higher lows, looks fine. Credo, nasty day. This was sold in GROTECTION today. Relative strength line, lower high, below the 21 EMA. And this had a harsh break off the highs. Could, in hindsight now, but this was a bear flag, but it's only clear in hindsight now. But sitting right at the 50-day moving average, and that coincides right at the 10-week moving average. So we'll see if this can hold. And then STX, another one that had some weakness today. Pulling back to the 21. These stocks have been on frozen ropes, and when these frozen ropes break, they can be aggressive, and that's just a combination of things, right? Just kind of a momentum unwind, whatever you want to call it. But at 21 day for now, see if this can hold. If not, it just might need some more time to base. Turbo 12, Irene, another one, and I actually want to talk about this one. This one's starting to get a little bit parabolic, climactic action per se, right? This is 310% above the 200-day, 106% above the 50-day. This is also 82% above the 10-week moving average. You know, breaching the upper trend line today, starting to stack multiple gap ups in a row on increasing volume, which typically can be a climax. You know, up 1,000% since from the April lows. No, I am by no means calling a top in this stock. I'm just signaling that a lot of signs point that the stock might need to cool down a little bit. It's, getting way ahead of itself here. So that's something to monitor. MET-C, this one is unbelievable move, just continues higher. Again, starting to get short-term extended here. Carbon continues to build higher lows, trending. IONQ, off this 21, a really strong move up. 4 days up on nice volume. Quantum stocks continue to be quite strong. SoundHound flagging out here in a big base. BE sitting right at the 8 EMA. PAAS, silver name, continues to build higher lows. SCCO, outside reversal, see if the 8 EMA holds. Baidu, China pulled back today. Baba did as well. BMNR pulling back with Ethereum weakness. Credo covered that. And then AAOI, look, we got a breakout yesterday and then just slam back in. And still seeing some volatility at breakouts. It's still been, really this whole year, it's been a better market to buy on weakness. Rocket Lab's a perfect example, right? I'll stop out these breakout buyers, pull back into the 50-day, get tight, and then shoot back up. So, this is one of the leaders right now. Take a look at some of the other quantums or Getty just continuing higher. Really showing no, like, I mean, these stocks are up a lot, but they're not getting like not showing blow off tops yet, really, where you're getting like multiple gap ups in a row, kind of like Irene's doing right now. Um, Another one I thought was worth mentioning, Hims. It's got a really nice base, showed some nice RS today, up almost 6%. And, this has had a lot of negative news, but it's still not going down. And, the story is still pretty prevalent. It's got pretty good earnings, pretty good sales growth. So one to watch as well. And then on the computer data storage front, Western Digital pulling back as well. Same with SanDisk. These stocks have just been huge, huge, huge moves. So even if they pull back a little bit further, that's nothing really out of the ordinary. But all in all, definitely a pullback day in the markets today. But on balance, most of the leaders are holding up pretty well. So it's just about, taking it day by day. What are the stocks telling us? Oklo's another high flyer, you know, pretty not quite an inside day, but again, looks totally normal, holding above the 8 EMA. So this is when it's important. These pullbacks hurt more if you're over leveraged and you're not selling into strength. If you're selling in strength into extensions and letting the stocks guide you with the moving averages, you'll be much better if the market pulls back. But looking at most of the stocks that we watched, the 21 over 21 list and Turbo 12, a lot of them pulling back today, but nothing, no screaming red flags for now. But like always, we'll be telling you guys our thoughts every day. So that is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. You can find me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you guys for watching. Give it a like, subscribe, comment, share, and we will see you guys tomorrow.